Right, first we'll get started with the power wire from our 5 volts out to the breadboard, and then the ground wire to the negative channel on the breadboard. Then I have a jumper from the positive channel over to, let's say I'll go to row 5, column B. So coming from the positive channel over to row 5, column B, then my push button switch. I'm going to make sure that the top leg is in row 5, and that will make the second leg or the bottom leg in row 7. Then I'm going to have another jumper wire that goes from row 7, and I use column A, and this will go down to pin 2. Right. Then let's see, take my diode and I will go, now make sure the diode has, excuse me, not diode, we want the 10K ohm resistor. So there's no polarity on this. And I'll go in row 7 as well. This goes down to, let's say, row 12. Then I will go another jumper from row 12. I'm just going to scoot my resistor over. It's still in row 7. This time I'm going to column C. And then the other leg is in row 12, column C as well. Now I'm going to take a jumper and go from row 12, column B, to the negative channel. So this goes back to, I'm running this back to ground. All right, so I've completed, basically if you look at the schematic, this whole left side here with the push button and the 10K ohm resistor going to ground, and you know the 5 volts connected to a push button. I've just completed that part of the circuit, as well as this jumper that goes from the push button all the way around to the digital pin number 2. So now to work on the rest of the circuit, I'm going to take the transistor and make sure that there's polarity with the transistor. There's a base emitter and collector, and there's this flat side here. You want the flat side facing your Arduino board. Okay, and I will have the top leg in row 15. Right, and let's see. We'll go from, let's see what's the best route to do this. I'll take one jumper and I'll go from pin 9 to the base, which is the middle pin. And that, in this case for me, is row 16. Top pin was in 15, middle pin is in 16, and bottom pin is in 17 for my transistor. And so I'm taking this jumper from digital pin 9 to 16, which is the base. And let's see, I will run a jumper from the emitter, which is row 17, to ground. And you know, you can plug this this other leg and any pin in this column here. All right. So that leaves us with the collector, and collector's pin 15, and this will bring this down to, let's say, row 23, and I'm in column D. Okay. Now that brings us to our, take our DC motor, and the negative, if you look in the schematic, you see that the collector is connected to the negative pin of the DC motor. And so we're going to connect that to row 23 as well, in this case column E. And I'm also going to use my diode, and the diode has polarity, and the diode usually in this sort of glass type of diode, there's a black edge to it, okay, and that's the side that that goes to the positive side of your the positive lead of your DC motor. So identify the black edge, and then that means the other edge is what we want to connect to our negative lead on our DC motor. And that negative side of your diode will go in row 23 as well. So in row 23, we have the negative side of the diode, we have the jumper that comes from the collector of the transistor, and then the negative lead of the DC motor. The positive side of the diode is down, let's see, for me, it goes down to row 28. And so I'll take a jumper from row 28, in this case, what, column B, over to the positive channel, and then take my positive lead from my DC motor and plug it in row 28 as well, in this case column E. Okay. So, and if you have something to attach to your DC motor, you can go ahead and do that now as well. You may have a wheel, or if you don't, you can use something like a tie wrap or something, just so you can see that it is actually spinning. But now we're ready to move on and program the circuit.